Good afternoon, Fantasy Bay. Mike Williams here with another Week 7 game preview. And today we're going to be going over the Falcons versus the Rams. Let's get it started. The over-under is 54 and a half, and the spread is -3 for the Rams. So Jared Goff played absolutely terrible last week. Man, that was an embarrassing performance. 78 passing yards and the fumble. God, that was terrible. Prior to that, he was playing pretty well, 18, 25, 19. But man, the 49ers defense is real, though. So I will say that. The 49ers defense is real, but man, Jared Goff, that was a terrible performance. And he definitely caused a lot of predictions to be off. Cooper Kupp, Brandon Cooks, Robert Woods all played very mediocre at best. Actually, I'd say downright bad. Kupp, 5 points. Cooks, 5 points. Robert Woods, 7 points. I don't foresee that in this game because the Falcons defense is hot garbage. I think Jared Goff is a good play this week. Top 10 play this week against the Falcons. I think he has a bounce back game. And if he's going to have a bounce back game, that means his wide receivers are going to need to have a good game. I think Cooper Kupp goes off, who previous to this previous game where he scored 5, 26, 27, 33. Yeah, he's going to bounce back from this game. Brandon Cooks is one of those question marks. He had a good game in week 3 with 19 fantasy points, but 13 after that, then 5 and 5. 10, trending in the wrong direction. You don't want to see that. But I think that this week against the Falcons, my man goes off. Calling it. Brandon Cooks has a good game this week. Throw him in your DFS because people aren't going to be playing him. Robert Woods, I also think he has a get-right game. I think he'll play pretty well. I don't think that all of them will be top 15, but I do think that there's a chance that they're all top 25-ish. At least Brandon Cooks and Cooper Kupp. And I also would say the terrible play from Everett last week. I think that he plays better this week. All right, so let's go to the running backs. I believe Todd Gurley plays this week, and if he plays, I'm not playing Malcolm Brown or Darrell Henderson, which Darrell Henderson did look good, though. I will say that. Darrell Henderson looks good, so if Todd Gurley goes down again, I'm interested to see how the splits go in that backfield. I think Malcolm Brown will still be the number 1 running back, but I do think that Darrell Henderson will get some play because he looked electric. And if Todd Gurley plays, I say you play him. The Falcons are allowing 20 points for the running back, which is the 13th in the league. So I think you can play him, fire him up. And, their defense. I don't know if I'm playing their defense this week, but they did just get Jalen Ramsey, which unfortunately they lost Aqib Talib to IR, and then they traded away Marcus Peters. But putting Jalen Ramsey on any defense is going to make it good, so I think that this defense actually plays well. Let's get to the Falcons. All right, start at the top with Matty Ice, who has been playing amazing this year. The last 4 games averaging 29.5 points, which is beastly. 346 yards a game, averaging 2.5 touchdowns. And has only had 2 interceptions in the last 4 games. Yes, sir. Let's go. I think he's a start and he's a play for sure. Julio Jones, obviously, you're playing him. He hasn't been consistently amazing, but in the last 4 games, averaging 15 points. He got you 18 last week with 8 receptions off of 9 targets, 108 yards. Solid game. I think he plays pretty well this game as well. Calvin Ridley has been pretty good the last 2 games. Week 4 and week 3, he was terrible, 6-1, but in the last 2, 14 and 19, it's pretty solid. He's had some good targets, 4 receptions, 6 targets this last week, 5 receptions, 9 targets last week before that. Not too bad. He only had 48 yards, but he was saved by a touchdown. It was a good run. Mohamed Sanu, I always think in a high-powered game like this that's expected to have some scoring back and forth, you could definitely throw in Mohamed Sanu. So let's get down to running backs. Devonta Freeman. A lot of people were worried those first couple games, and I understand. But I play a lot of beer pong, and last week he was heating up. He had 17 fantasy points in 18. He was heating up. That next one, on fire. 26 fantasy points. Let's go. Throwing out Devonta Freeman. You're playing him for sure. You're not touching Ito Smith. And Austin Hooper has been a beast this year, so you got to play him. Averaging 21 points in the last 4 games. He had 25 points last week. He went 8 for 8 targets and receptions, 117 yards and a touchdown. Goodness gracious. In the last 3 games, my man has gone over 115 yards. That's what I'm talking about. Poor Matt Bryant. I'm sorry, buddy. You missed that game to tie, or you missed a field goal to tie the game. Actually, extra point. That's even worse. To tie the game. Man, that's embarrassing. Sorry for your loss. Good luck next week, I guess. Well, you're in my division, so I'm kind of fine with you losing. All right. Mike Williams, Fantasy Bay. I'm out. You have any questions, hit me up. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Good luck this week, Fantasy Bay.